Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's check some things out real quick. Testing, testing, testing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Level 40 Unlocked. I am your host, Seth 40, and this evening I will be cooking again. I am cooking steak nachos today. So, if you haven't seen my previous video, I did my version of Philly cheesesteaks on this channel just recently. Trying something a little different with that steak. As I said before, you don't need to use all your ingredients at once. You can save them for another meal. And this is that other meal that I was thinking of. So, with that being said, and without further ado, let's go ahead and transition on over to Level 40 Unlocked Cooks. Ha 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 ha. You like my crown, my chef's hat that I got going on? Now, this is a picture. The background you're seeing is previous steak nachos that I made before. So hopefully we can make them and replicate them and look like that again. That, I know that looks good. And we got the chill vibes going on thanks to Twitch sound strip. Hopefully it's not too loud in your ears. I'm trying to get that balance as we go now. But enough playing around. Let's go ahead and get into it, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so we know the basic ingredients for nachos is going to be chips, Tostitos by in this case, and your cheese. That is that microwavable type. Yes, you're going to need a microwave for this. This is that microwavable type of cheese that you get at the movie theater. Yeah, you gotta hunt for that. They don't get that to just anybody. We also going to be adding some quesadilla cheese. And I'm pretty sure queso means cheese, so they wrote cheese here twice. So if people start saying, hey, I want that white quesadilla cheese, don't look at them crazy, because it says it right there on the package, cheese twice. Once in Spanish, once in English. Alright. So those are the basic ingredients. Now, obviously for steak nachos, you need steak. I'm not going to pull out the steak just yet because I want to keep that in the freezer for as long as possible to make sure it stays nice and cold when we cut it, so to make it easier slice than that cheesesteak slice that we were doing. We're also going to be adding some veggies. So we got our tomato, green onion. You don't really supposed to add these to steak nacho. To a nacho, but I got too many mushrooms, so I'm gonna be adding mushrooms. And just for fun, little jalapenos. But I am not going to be adding my jalapenos onto the finished product. I'm going to be adding them to the skillet to cook down some of that heat. As I said, I'm a lightweight, but I do like spicy. The flavor is spicy. I just can't always tolerate. Thank you, You Go Diva. I like the music too. Thank you. But yeah, I cannot. My digestive system can't always tolerate that extra spicy from the jalapenos, because I'm gonna be adding a little bit of this to it as well. So we already got heat in 2 forms and correction 3 forms, because before we start any cooking, anything, you know, as far as our ingredients, we want to get our spices blended up, because I find that a lot of times when you go, actually I don't need the red plate, when you're cooking and adding your seasonings as you cook, you can sometimes over season or under season any particular ingredient. So to avoid that, I'm just gonna go ahead and just add my spices to this here rice measuring cup that came with my rice cooker. It acts as a perfect spice container as well for this purposes. And as I said before, when you're cooking for an individual meal, you don't need to use everything at once. You need to use things in moderation. So this way I get to see how much salt, how much pepper I'm adding, you know, mix all the spices up together, see what that flavor profile is like, and then add it to the food. So, you know, enough talking, let's get started. So we're going to first start out with some salt. And not too much, just enough to, you know, make an impression. And on top of that salt, we adding some more salt, so that's why I said we don't need that much. And we're just adding a little bit of this for that flavor. Yeah, just a few sprinkles. Maybe one more sprinkle. The seasoning salt, Laris, it has that unique and special seasoning taste that you like. Absolutely. Yeah, so that was the Laris. And we use a little bit of salt. We're going to next start out with some onion powder. Well, not start out, but continue with some onion powder. Don't need that much of that either, because we're going to be adding green onions to our final product. We just want, you know, to give that steak that proper flavor that it deserves. Now, you don't have to do this. You can always just get you one of those 99-cent packets of taco seasoning and throw that on there. That's what I do when I'm doing ground beef nachos. But since I'm doing steak, I'm going to show it, you know, the love by giving it its own spice blend. Added some garlic powder next. Let's say just enough. You can always add more seasons later if you find that you have too little. As I said, some of that cayenne pepper. A couple sprinkles. Get that some color. And next is our chili powder. Alright, that's a good amount of that. And let's see what we're looking like as far as seasons. Yes, that is, see that already, that is quite a lot of, what's the name? We're not going to, probably not even going to end up using all that, but when you're using this many ingredients, that's why you want to use a small amount of each, because it all adds up to a large amount. And you know we can't cook without black pepper. I mean, I already added salt. You got to add its best friend, black pepper. And as you see on the labels, great value, great value. So I am definitely the budget shopper. And our last dry season ingredient will be this ground cumin. And this is the main thing that you taste in taco seasoning packets. Is the cumin, is that flavor that you always find in those McCormick or Great Value. And I'm gonna add a little more because, like I say, this is the essence of Mexican American flavor profiles. And I'm just gonna take my fork. Well, actually, I don't even need to do that. I can just give it a little twirl. Give it a little twirl. Get it all nice and mixed up. Look at those beautiful colors. Yeah, and that is definitely enough of spice and flavor to add to our meat. So we're gonna go ahead and put that aside. And next, we need to prep our veggies. And then since we only have a couple and the mushrooms are already sliced, just going to be basically the green onions and dicing some tomatoes. So let's get our cutting board set. And since we're handling the ingredients, we might as well, you know, I keep the black gloves on deck because, you know, the field that I work in, I work with a lot of people, so I have to buy gloves, masks, all that type of equipment. So I keep a fresh pair of black gloves on deck. So let's just go ahead and start prepping these ingredients after we get ourselves food safety safe. Food safety safe. Yeah, buddy. Those are words, people. Those are words. Alright. onions here. Once again, moderation. I do have a whole pack of green onions, but I only need two stalks. There we go. Finally getting some cuts. And I am not a professional chef, and I don't think many of you guys are either. So your cuts don't have to be super fancy and super uniform. Try and keep them as uniform as you can, because you know you want it to look a little pretty when you eat it. But we all know where it's going. It's going, you know, in your stomach and chumped up through them choppers of yours. So it's not going to look too great, but it's going to taste amazing. And I probably could get away with one. No, you need two, because we're going to put half on before the cheese is melted and half on after the cheese is melted. Alright, get it all the way down. That may not even be enough right there. I might have to pull another one out the fridge. We'll see once we cross that road. There. Oh, I really am vibing to this music. Well, hopefully they will follow this recipe and know what to buy. Thank you, Miss You Go Diva. Thank you. Alrighty, cleaning up our little area. And next will be our tomato. I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to score it a couple ways because I'm dicing it, and this is the quickest way to get your, you know, uniform diced chunks out. Stabilize it. You know, you always want to keep your fingers away from the blades, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I say, I didn't use proper cutting technique that last video, although unfortunately, my knife isn't the sharpest, so it's a little difficult to use proper cutting technique with this. Matter of fact, I believe I actually have a knife that's supposed to be dedicated for cutting the slicing into tomatoes. And I know the chefs do it like that, but I'm not a chef, so we just want to go ahead and hacksaw our way down. I wish this was stable enough for me to do it over the bowl, but I can always just transfer the slices later into the bowl. And that is plenty tomato, and with the green peppers, let's go around to clean her up a little bit. Ooh, yeah, as I say, not a chef, but we still get the job done. Want to put that the rest of that tomato in our favorite friend, a Ziploc, well, not a Ziploc bag. I want to have another one of these that actually helps keep the moisture out even better than the Ziploc. Alright, let's put this over to the side. And let's put this over to the side. And just excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and clean off this cutting board. I'll be right back. Got our veggies prep. What would be next? That would be chicken and cheese. Honestly, we can technically remove the cutting board for right now because we're not about to cut. Well, yeah, we're not going to cut up the steak. It is again, as I said, I want to wait till the very, absolutely very last second. Normally, if your steak is already at a nice frozen or semi-frozen temperature, you can start prepping the meat now. But my steak didn't get as frozen as I would like, so I'm waiting that last second. So that's why I'm going to start with the chips. Yeah, that's that bag opening. You know that sound. Everybody know that sound. So when that bag opens, I'm a big boy, so I'm going to get a nice healthy portion here. Yeah, get those last few off the lip. There you go. Technically, I could go for a little more, but yeah, we can work with this. Yeah, that's a nice base. And we are now going to add our shredded queso cheese. You thought I was going to talk about the doggone melted cheese. No. We'll do the shredded cheese first. That beautifulness of the falling flakes of cheese that hit the chips. This is some very good cheese. It tastes delicious on almost everything. Seriously. And we're going to add more cheese later, but remember, moderation, because we're adding steak, we're adding 2 cheeses. This cheese, the melted cheese, the nacho cheese, and you know, I know nachos are never going to be healthy, but you don't want to overdo it with everything, because this is a lot of calories. And we're going to be adding some sour cream to this as well. So, with all that being said, a little goes a long way. I'm going to add some of this veggie mixture, because I want some of this to get melted in with the cheese here. And then I'm going to add some at the end to give it the fresher flavor of fresh veggies, but I want some of these a little wilted from the microwave so they can be more blended into the dish itself. Alright, so I know that looks good already, but we're going to put this to the side. We're now ready to actually throw this in the microwave, but I'm not going to start it just yet. Now I'm going to prep my meat. This is left over from the cheesesteaks. Hit like a rock, so that sounds good. Alright, that sounds like it's frozen enough to get a good cut with. Get these headphones here. Alright, let's see if we can do a better job of cutting this time. I know we that last performance wasn't the greatest in the world. Alright, let's do it like this. Okay. Alright, yeah, these are some nice bite-sized pieces here. Yeah, get that carving action so we get a good cut. I want to actually cut this in half now, because as I say, I want bite-sized pieces, and if you can see as this comes out, I want to have slightly larger than bite-sized, so give it one more cut around lengthwise, and if you can, get that chop action going. Nope, you can't. Don't try to be fancy. As you see, the doggone cutting board is trying to get away from me. There we go. You can go over here and come back together, because I still need to cut the rest of you on this way. Get back. Valves. I can mess with it. We'll cut you individually since you're sliding apart from me. Be careful with the gloves too if you're choosing to wear gloves, because that might be a little too small even for me. Because the gloves may extend past your fingers, and you don't want to get, you know, rubber or latex or whatever these materials are made out of, you know, in your meat. That's not cool. Has anybody ever thought that that would be cool? I don't think so. Alrighty. So, now that our meat is prepped, we waited the very last second to do that. We're going to start setting up our cooking station. And as we're getting that set up, then we can microwave our chips and cheese with the veggies on top. This out the way. Remove this. Alright. So let's get that set. We can remove this. Actually, keep it as the splatter counter, just in case. Alright. You want to wipe this down because we just washed it off. So let's get that nice and clean and clear of any more water. Alright. So for the meat, you want it to be not rock solid frozen, but you want it to be at a semi-frozen temperature. Pliable enough to pull apart, but block enough where when it hits the cutting board, it makes like a rock sound. You don't want to hear that wet flap sound that meat normally makes. You want to hear more of a rock-like sound. So I'm gonna go ahead and but good question. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in our device. Now, if this is not your first time joining us, you know that there's an electrical issue here. So hopefully it stays with me as I work out these devices. Matter of fact, yeah. I just want to say, to be safe, maybe I should nuke that cheese right now. Put it over. Now, when you're nuking or microwaving, I'm sorry, I'm old school, nuking is always the term. But when you're microwaving the chips and cheese and veggies, you do not want to go past 40 seconds. Honestly, a good 30 to 35 seconds is the time frame that you're shooting for on that. Now, as you saw, the steak is already very thin sliced by the butcher, again, diced by me, and it's small portion. So once again, it will cook up fast. So I'm going to start with those mushrooms, because the mushrooms are going to take a little bit longer to soften up and cook, because they're sliced thicker, and you know they're not made of meat and fat. So veggies are always a problem. They always want to take their time. Alright, so you just heard that was the beep from the microwave, so I feel confident that I can turn on the skillet. Since I just washed the skillet, got a little water in it, so I'm going to take some paper towels here and get that extra moisture. Now, I had better control with these tongs last time than that spatula. Thinking maybe I should go with the tongs. Let's try it out. I want to see what it's hitting for. That comes up to heat. I'm going to remove the glove so feels like it's coming up now. Throw a little EVO, extra virgin olive oil, into the skillet. You really won't need this for the meat, but for the veggies, yeah. Meat has its own fat that it can lubricate the skillet with. And you can let these mushrooms come up to the temp at the same time as the oil and everything. It's not going to hurt it. And I know I got all these mushrooms, but I only need a few for every dish that I make. I think they do that on purpose. I really do. Take a look at our cheese. Yeah. So this is already 40 seconds in, or 35 seconds in, and you see it went a little over, so I'm going to add some extra cheese on top, so when I do the second heat, because this is a 2-heat process. Remember, you gotta heat up the microwavable cheese, so you want to double heat on this. Well, actually, not really. Now that I think about it, the residual heat from the steak and the mushrooms will cause enough more residual heat to melt the cheese. Like they sizzling up a little bit. Yeah, okay, alright. Got some popping. I hear you, I hear you. Looks like the skill is a little off center of the camera, so we're gonna try and adjust that real quick. Just letting those heat up a little bit, you know, get sauteed, soften up a bit. Then I'm going to add some jalapenos and then the steak. Then I'm going to add the seasonings. And it's going to cook up real nice and good. And then mushrooms. Oh, okay, I got a mushroom lover. Yeah, I mean, technically, when you get a fajita, it comes with peppers, onions, and mushrooms as part of the trinity of veggies that comes on fajita. So they, like I said, they don't normally go on nachos, but if you like Tex-Mex feeling, I guess you can call it. You can do it. It's your meal. Do what you want. I got too many mushrooms. I want to add it to, but they go great with steak, so I want to add it to these steak nachos. Yeah, they getting some color. Oh, that one tried to do the double. It did the whole 360 on me. But this is a little bit more controlled than that spatula was giving me. Oh, you don't want to go home? Alright, I will just eat you then. Yeah, see, that works out for me. Didn't work out too good for you though. But this one happened anyway. Alrighty, now it's got some good sizzle going. Yeah. Woo, those jalapenos smell strong. Matter of fact, they smell a little too strong for me. I'm gonna go ahead and leave them jalapenos alone. Yeah. I know, I just wussed out on camera, but hey, it be what it be. Alright, so got a nice sizzle going on. Let's go ahead and start adding our steak. Oh man, if you can smell, and that's without even adding any seasonings yet, but if you can smell what the rock is cooking with me. Yeah. Alright. Go ahead and start adding our seasonings. I was going to try to do the old fancy pinch thing, but keep it real. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Now see how much seasoning, how much is covering the meat? How much seasoning we got left? We ain't even finished pouring it out because we saw when you add a bunch of spices together, they make, even in little amounts, they make a lot. And just to add an extra dose of flavor. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy, you heard. Oh, yeah. But we ain't done. We ain't done. We gotta stir this bad boy up. Get those colors in it. Oh, you here. Oh, come on now. I made better cuts than that. Don't be saying you stuck together, man. Woo. That's gonna be a nice bite. So, see them pretty colors that's coming out? Mushrooms, that pink is disappearing from the meat. Yeah. Alright, let that go ahead and keep sizzling up. Got a little brown right here. Eventually the juices from the meat are going to come out and lower the temperature of the skillet. So you're going to lose some of your sizzle. Now that was Chipotle Tabasco sauce, man. It's that Tabasco with the Chipotle, because regular Tabasco ain't all that great. And, you know, right around this last second, as I said, it got to sear, but as you can see, the juices are starting to come out the meat, so the temperature is going to lower automatically. And this is I don't want to set it too high because we'll blow out a fuse. So at this point, we're not going to get too much more of a sear color, so we're going to start lowering the temperature a little bit more and adding some lime juice in here. If you got fresh limes, please use them. As I say, this is Level 40 Unlocked does bargain shopping, so I got the 99-cent concentrated lime juice. It says it's real juice though. So, oh, but that smells so good. That smells so good. And another last minute special ingredient, because we're almost done cooking. You don't want to overcook steak. That's the last thing you want to do. I know we're a well done background, but you kind of want to leave a little bit of the pink still showing. See, right around here we're almost close to done. There's only a few pieces left with pink. Add a little frozen cilantro. I know, once again, if you can use fresh, please do. I'm using frozen because fresh never stays in my refrigerator for very long. It dies in like 12 hours. It's one of those things like sometimes cucumbers have that same issue. You don't cook them, you don't use those veggies immediately, they come back, they don't stay around. They don't have a mixtape or a remix coming out. Alright. But frozen ain't that great because it is difficult to get out the package. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this one last stir. Then we're gonna, oh yeah, that lime juice and the cilantro though, even the little bit that came out is definitely working. Oh, that is definitely working together. That makes me think of the citrus lime marinade that I make. Oh, make me want to make that again. Hey, if you want to see me make it, stay tuned. I may make it eventually. Who knows? I may start going to burritos and whatnot. Alright, and yeah, this I already knew, so it says power's off on that. Alright, give me 30 seconds to go ahead and nuke the cheese in the microwave. Oh snap, I knocked down the microphone. I have no idea if you guys have been able to hear me since that time, but I just corrected that mistake now. And I'm going to go ahead and add this wonderful delicious steak and mushroom deliciousness to my plate. And you will see the final product shortly. The cheese sounded like it just did its first run in the microwave. This is not as fun as I would like it to be. Alrighty, so here's what we're going to do. This is cool to touch because it's that wonderful invention. As you can see, I can put a plastic plate directly onto it and it does not melt. Gotta love technology. And that gives me a more stable platform to empty the food out on instead of having me hold the plate in one hand and then try and keep scooping it in there. And as I said, add a little more cheese on top. Yeah, buddy. Like I say, not for the healthy. Not for the healthy at heart. This is definitely meant to put some pounds on you. Oh, thank you. Okay, because yeah, I looked up and I saw that the doggone microphone was tilted to the side. I'm like, what? What is going on here? Alright. Let's see, did that cheese? Nah, let's give it another good 30 seconds. It didn't get soft enough for my taste. Not for my standards. I need that nice and gooey and melty and porous so we get that money shot. I know everybody waiting on the money shot. And that's when that cheese, just that melted yellow nacho cheese just gets poured all over this delicious steak, and mushroom, and tomato, and just lusciousness. Oh, yeah. Is it sexy for you guys too? Is the sexy drizzle working for you guys? I'm loving it. I am so, oh man, you don't get better than that. You don't. Oh man, I mean seriously. Who doing it better than that? Not Taco Bell. I can tell you that. And what did I say? We give it one more shot into the nuke machine. I just refuse to call it a microwave. I know. Yeah. Go ahead and unplug this. I should have hit start on the microwave, but I didn't because, ADHD. You know what? That's an insensitive joke. If you actually have ADHD, I apologize. I know that it is a serious thing that people suffer with, and I do not want to make light of it. I believe as a marijuana smoker who has quite a few memory lapses here and there, or attention deficit issues here and there, I need to be a little bit more sensitive because I do appreciate the problem. Alright, so we just popped it in here for a good 15 seconds. It's ready to come on out. Yeah, you ready to come on out. You ready to make your debut? Yeah, you are. Give me a little bit more color with the fresh veggies on top. And I thought I wouldn't have enough. Do you see what's going on here? Oh, buddy. Yeah, you know what time it is when I say, oh, buddy. We getting there. Let's go ahead and pop open my sour cream. Yeah, you didn't think I forgot about the sour cream, did you? You didn't think I forgot about the sour cream? No. We're gonna give it a cut. Please come out nice, please. There we go. Oh, you beautiful thing. You beautiful thing, you. Who is a pretty nacho? You a pretty nacho. Sexy even. Beautiful like. Buddy. Yeah. So I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for that taste testimony. Alright, well, it's a nacho, people. It's going to taste good, regardless. But the problem is, with all nachos, where is the perfect chip? Which chip do you go for? Do you go for the outer edge and try and work your way in and scoop some of these delicious ingredients? Or you know what? Let's stop talking. Yeah. Come on, work with me. Oh, the chip sandwich cake. Oh, no, I want more of the steak, too. Don't just give me the mushroom. There we go. Got the mushroom, the steak. Give me a little bit of sour cream. Yeah, buddy. Chip sandwich. Oh yeah. That's something to write home about there, right there. Yeah, that make you change religions. Shoot, if you one of them people who don't eat beef, then I feel sorry for you, because this cow sacrificed his life in good name for this right here. Oh yeah, let me get some more. Oh, look at that. Here, I want the sour cream too. Got that onion that was baked in with the nuke in, and got the fresh onion. That's that nuked in onion right there. You see that nuked in onion? Man, you better see it. Yeah, I'm making a little bit of enough here. I'm sorry, I dove right on in. I forgot to put up the favorite cup. And our Sprite from that pizza we ordered 2 weeks ago. Thank you. I try. I have my moments. I'm not paid stand up, but I have my moments. Right there. this. I swear. I normally am a water drinker. I'm an avid water drinker. Occasionally Kool-Aid, but I swear, when you're having something salty like a cheesesteak or a steak nacho, the sweetness of Sprite, especially semi-flat Sprite, because you see ain't no bubbles. You don't see no bubbles. This is semi-flat. This is exactly like I like it. I know it's, y'all might just call it surf water. But yeah, it's good. It ain't as good as these nachos. But they work. Oh, look at that piece. Look, you know what? This is the last piece for the day. Last piece for the day. You don't get no better than that piece right there. That's arbitrary coming to me. Oh. And the cheese was nice and melty, and oh. Yeah, that's all you get, ladies and gentlemen. Got me over here talking with my mouth full. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. I want to thank you, Gold Diva, for lighting up the comment section. I really appreciate that. You can find me cooking and gaming and maybe some other things in the future right here on twitch.tv/SEPH_40. Weekly schedule is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will be gaming, which means in about 30 minutes I will have to finish off this nacho and get ready to get in some Call of Duty if you want to join me for that later. You can also find me on Facebook.com/SEPH40. No underscore on the Facebook. Only the underscore is only on the Twitch. So Facebook.com/SEPH40. Level 40 unlocked on both platforms. This video will be posted to level 40 shortly in the future. Possibly sometime next week, depending on whether the audience wants to see it or not. Alright, thank you again for joining me. Peace and a bye-bye.